Now at 10, priceless Alamo artifacts under new scrutiny. Pieces of the multi-million-dollar Phil Collins collection are being called out as fake.
Eyewitness News anchor Sharon Coe shares the allegations in a new book.
Succinctly put on the front cover of Texas Monthly, "Come and Fake It." Inside the pages, an adapted excerpt from a book, "Forget the Alamo, The Rise and Fall of an American Myth." The book cites antique dealers, collectors, and even the Alamo's longtime historian, Bruce Winders, who all say the Phil Collins collection is suspicious. Collins, a British rock star, donated more than 400 relics to the Alamo. The authors say the majority of the pieces appear to be authentic, but question dozens of small items. For example, this Bowie knife, where they say a psychic who claimed a head injury gave him special powers, was part of the authentication process. In the book, Winders says there's enough to make you think that there's some deception going on here. A prominent Louisiana collector said in the book as well, no collection is 100% authentic, but, quote, Collins' collection contains more questionable pieces. An Alamo spokesperson sent KENS 5 a statement saying they're excited to continue sharing Collins' collection with Texans and said in part, the Alamo Collections team takes diligent steps to verify and conserve all artifacts in its collection. Sharon Coe, KENS 5, Eyewitness News.
KENS 5 reached out to the Texas General Land Office. We did not hear back from them tonight. This week, Bexar County commissioners approved $25 million to help pay for the Alamo Museum. The museum will house the Phil Collins collection.